Hello students, welcome to computer class. I am Mr. Ibezim Leonard Chinedum. It's a pleasure to be with you today. On this computer class today, we'll be discussing on the topic computer hardware. And on this computer hardware, we'll be looking into the subtopics, computer as a system, why computer is called a system. Number 2, the basic hardware groups. Number 3, input devices, output devices, processing device, storage devices, and communication devices. Before we move over to computer as a system, let's take a look at what a system is all about. What is a system? Here, I define a system as a set of things working together as part of mechanism or an interconnected connecting network. A system is a group of things working together to achieve a goal. Okay, that is what system is all about. They are a group of things working together to achieve a goal. And that takes us to computer as a system. What computer is all about? What computer system is all about? We say that computer is called a system because it consists of 3 components that work together to produce results. And what are these 3 components that work together to produce a result? Here we have the hardware, that is the computer hardware. We have the computer software, and we have the peopleware. Otherwise, we can also call it the users. Okay, we'll be taking them one after the other to know exactly what they are. Computer hardware. What is computer hardware? We say that computer hardware are the physical parts of the computer system that we can see, touch, and feel. And you can see examples of computer hardware here. Here we have the keyboard. Here we have the speaker, and we have the mouse. We also have some other things that are not here, things like the projector, we have the scanner, we have the monitor, and the rest. And we say all those things, all these hardwares that are connected to computer system, in general, we call them the peripherals. We say hardware that are connected to computer are called the peripheral. Things like your speaker, your mouse, your keyboard, your USB flash drive, your projector, and the rest. In general name for them, we call them the peripherals. Okay, that is what computer hardware is all about. Okay, let's move over to computer software. What is computer software? We say that computer software are sets of instructions that enables a computer to perform a specific task. Here we say that they are sets of instructions. Sets. Now when you are talking about sets, you are not talking about one thing. That thing is more than one, at least from 2 upwards. Let's take a good let's take an example of our mathematics set. You know, in your mathematics set, you have so many things inside there. It's not only sharpener you can find inside there, or the or ruler or eraser. You can see pencil, you can see pen, you can see your compass, and some other things there. So they came together to form a set. Okay, we say that computer software are sets of instructions that enables a computer to perform a specific task. It includes the operating system and all the utilities that the computer used to function. And here in this picture, you can see some computer softwares. We have the Mozilla Firefox, we have the Yahoo, we have the Opera Menu, we have the Google Chrome, we have the VLC, and so many of them here. They help us to achieve and to work with our computer. They are software, we can only see them, but we cannot touch them. Unlike the hardware that we can see, touch, and feel, the software, we can only see them, but we cannot touch or feel them. like your Mozilla Firefox, you can only see it, but you cannot say that you have touched your Mozilla Firefox before or feel it. So they are software. They are set of instruction. They are instruction in the computer that helps us to achieve our tasks. Okay, let's move over to the next one, which is the peopleware. We say that these are the people who uses the computer to solve their daily needs. The peopleware, they are me and you. We use computer every day to achieve our daily needs. Looking at this picture here, you can see that the people here, they are using the computer to do one or two things. They are using it to solve their problem. They are using it to achieve what they want. Some people are using it to type. Some people will be using it to watch the movie. Some people will be using it to do other things. So we are the end users of computer. So these three things are the things that came together to form a system. Okay, look at the picture here. We have the hardware, we have the software, and we have the users. These three things are the things that came together to form a system. So that is the reason why computer is called a system, because it has three components that are working together to produce results. Okay, let's move over to the next one, the basic hardware groups. Okay, we say that the basic hardware group are the core things that we need while operating our system, while operating our computer. We cannot do without them. It's not as if others are not important, but those basic ones, we need them. Now, when somebody is talking about basic is you must pass, they are the most important thing. It's not as if others are not important, but they are the most important thing that you cannot do without. Take example of your keyboard. Can you type in your system without a keyboard? No. If you don't have a keyboard, you cannot be able to type when you want to type. If you don't have your mouse, you cannot be able to point or to click. If you don't have your monitor, you cannot be able to view what you're doing. Likewise, your speaker. Imagine when you're watching your movie or you are playing your music. If you don't have speaker, can you be able to hear the sound? No. The only thing, when you're playing your film, if you don't have sound, you will see people, they are moving. The only thing you'll be seeing is motion, but you cannot hear sound. But if speaker is there, you can see motion and also you will hear sound. So they are the basic hardware groups. They are the basic hardware devices we have. Okay, let's move over to the next one. And all these basic hardware groups are classified into different parts. They are classified into different parts. Okay, we say they are classified into input devices and output devices, processing devices, storage devices, and communication devices. The hardwares, they are classified into the following. They are classified into groups. Okay, we'll be taking them one after the other to know actually the devices that are fall under the input device, the ones that are fall under output device, and the ones that are fall under communication, storage, and processing devices. Okay, we'll be taking them one after the other. Input devices. What is an input device? Here we say that an input device is any hardware component that allows users to enter data and instruction into the computer. Example of input devices are the pictures you're seeing here. Here you can see a keyboard, somebody typing with the keyboard. You can see a hand holding mouse. You can see a touch screen. Somebody is touching his phone and his laptop. This is a touch screen. Is a good example of input device. And we have the thumb printing, and we have so many of them. They are the input devices we have. We also have the scanner. Scanner is example of input device. We have the microphone, we have the guitar, and the rest. So they are the input devices. They allow us to enter data and instruction into a computer. But I want to ask you this question. Looking at this picture here, you can see that this device here is serving two things at once. is displaying and also is an input device. That is, it's an output device and at the same time is an input device. Now, the question is, a device that serves as input and output device is called dash. What is it being called? Is it called input device? Is it called output device? Is it called, what is the name? So that is the first assignment I'm giving to you. Okay, let's move over to the next one. Okay, the input devices will be taking them after the other to know actually their function, what their function is all about. Okay, let's forge ahead. The keyboard. And we say that the keyboard is an input device, that contains keys users press to enter data and instruction into a computer system. You can see example of a keyboard here. You can see example of keyboard is a device that the users press to enter data and instruction into a computer system. Now, I want to ask you another question. A standard keyboard contains how many keys? A standard keyboard, how many keys are there in a standard keyboard? I didn't say how many keys are there in a keyboard because all keyboards are not the same. But my question is, how many keys are there in a standard keyboard? Okay, that is your second question. Let's also continue. Let's continue. Okay, we'll move over to pointing device. We are still under input devices. Now we are talking about pointing devices. What is a pointing device? A pointing device is an input device that allows a user to control a pointer on a screen. A good example of pointing device is a mouse. A mouse is a pointing device. We use it to point and we use it also to click. Now, a pointing device helps us to input. It allows a user to control a pointer on a screen. And you can see, as I'm talking, I am moving my mouse and you can see a pointer on a screen. You can see a small arrow on a screen moving. It's moving because I am moving my pointer, my mouse, the mouse I'm holding here, I am moving it. That is the reason why you can see this arrow moving. And that arrow that is moving is what we call the pointer. While what I am holding here is called a pointing device. Okay, we say that a pointer is a small symbol on the screen whose location and shape change as a user moves a pointing device. You can see that the position of this pointer is moving. Why? Because I am moving the pointing device that I am holding here. The pointer is moving on the screen because my pointing device, I am moving it. And we have types of pointing device. We have the mouse, we have the touchpad, we have the joystick, and so many of them. Okay, what is mouse? Mouse is a pointing device that you fix under the palm of your hand comfortably. As I am holding the mouse here, I fix it under my palms so that I can be able to use it effectively. And we have two types of mouse. We have the wired mouse and we have the wireless mouse. The wireless mouse uses battery. It uses battery and Bluetooth. You connect it to your system so that you can be able to use it. While the wired mouse doesn't use battery. Rather, you plug this head to the computer so that you can be able to use it. Okay, it's a good example of input device. Now, let's move over to digital camera. Digital camera is a good example of input devices. We say that digital camera allows users to take pictures and store them digitally. Okay, biometric input is another example of input device. We said that biometric input device measures a unique physical characteristics of a person. Okay, you can see pictures of biometric inputs here. We have three of them here. We have the one we call fingerprinting, the one you place your thumbprinting or any of your finger that is required for the device to access it. Okay, we also have the hand geometry system, the one you place your full palm, that is all your fingers there, for the system to read it. We have the one we call iris recognition system. This one here, you displays your face so that it will capture your eyes and your eyeball. Okay, they are a good example of input device. Okay, let's move over to output devices. What is an output device? We say output device is any type of hardware component that conveys information to one or more people. And the information from output device comes in two forms. Information from output devices come in different forms. That is, it comes in two different forms. We have the one we call the hard copy. The hard copy, they are, here I say that it is a permanent printout of information. You know, hard copy is, let's take example of when you are typing. After typing in Microsoft Word, then you use your printer to print it out. That thing you print out that you're holding, that paper you're holding, is what we call the hard copy. While the one on the system is what we call what? The soft copy. We say that soft copy is information displayed on the monitor or produced by the speaker. You know, you can only hear sound when you're playing your music, but that sound, you cannot touch it. That is why we call that one the soft copy. While the one that you're holding handy is called the hard copy. Okay, look at these pictures here. These are examples of output devices. Okay, we'll be taking them one after the other as we can. Okay, let's take a look at what display device is all about. Under this display device, we have the monitor. We say here a CRT monitor is a desktop monitor that contains a cathode ray tube. A monitor is a good example of output device. It helps us to view what we are doing. Without the help of monitor, you cannot be able to see what you are doing. Let's assume that your phone or your system is blind and you are typing. You cannot be able to even locate where your Microsoft Word or where your music is stored inside the computer. Without a monitor, you cannot be able to view it. So monitor is a good example of an output device. And we have types of monitor. We have the one we call the CRT, which stands for cathode ray tube. We have the one we call the LCD, which is liquid crystal display. And we also have the one we call LED, LED, and LED stands for light emitting diode. So they are example of output devices. Okay, let's move over to printer. What is printer? We say that printer produces text and graphics on a physical medium. It's with the help of printer that will help you either to print your text or to print your graphics. For photographers, the printer they are using helps us to print pictures. You can see this printer here is helping us to print what? Pictures. While other printers helps us to print our text. These other printers help us to print graphics, while the other ones helps us to print text. Okay, a printer is a good example of output devices. Okay, the projector is another example of output device. We say that projector is a device that takes the text and images displaying on a computer screen and projects them on a larger screen. Take for instance, in school, when we are learning or when we want to learn computer science, you know, we normally use projector to project it on the wall so that people, those at the back, can be able to see it. But if we are using only our laptop, believe me, it's only one or two person can be able to view it. Others cannot be able to see it. But with the help of projector, it will help us to project it on a larger screen so that everybody can see it. Okay, I hope the lesson is entering. Okay, let's move over to the next one, which is processing and memory device. What is processing device? We said that processing device. Okay, we have types of processing device also. But before that, what is processing device? We say that a processing device, which is central processing unit, they help us to interpret and carries out the basic instruction that operates on the computer. Processing device, they help us to interpret and carries out the basic instructions that operate on the computer. Processing device, in other way around, we call them the processor. And look at this picture here. This picture is a good example of a processor. This is a processor. All of them here, they are processors. They help us to process our information in the computer. Now, before I move over to the next one, I want to ask this question, or I'm giving it as an assignment. What is the difference between a CPU and a system unit? You know, sometimes students don't really understand. Many of them think that CPU and system unit are the same. But I am giving it to you today as an assignment. Go and search. Go and do research and know the difference between a CPU, that is Central Processing Unit, and a system unit. Alright, let's forge ahead. Memory devices. And we say that memory devices consist of electronic components that stores instructions waiting to be executed. Okay, example of a memory device. We have two types of memory device. We have the ROM, which stands for read-only memory. We have the RAM, random access memory. And we say that this random access memory, that they are volatile in nature. Volatile in the sense that when power is removed, they lose their content. They lose their content. They are volatile in nature. When power is off, they lose their content. They don't retain information. While the ROM, when power is off, the information will still be there. They retain information, and they are non-volatile in nature. Alright, let's forge ahead. Let's move over to storage devices. What is a storage device? We say that a computer storage device holds data, instruction, and information for future use. A storage medium is the physical material on which a computer keeps data, instruction, and information. A good example of storage device is a flash drive. You know, here you can see they say here it holds data, instruction, and information for future purpose or for future use. You know, if you want to save your file, you can use your flash drive to copy that file and keep your flash drive saved, and you can use it at any point in time in the future time. Take for instance, maybe you want to travel and you don't want to carry your system. With the help of storage device, you can be able to carry that same thing that is in your system without carrying your system along with you. Okay, all these storage devices, we'll be taking them one after the other. We have examples of storage device. We have the hard disk, we have the flash drive, we have the memory stick, and so many of them. We also have the optical disk and the like. Okay, we'll be taking them one after the other to know actually what they represent. Okay, this is hard disk. We say that the hard disk is the major storage for the computer. Hard disk contains one or more flexible circular platters that use magnetic particles to store data, instruction, and information. Okay, looking at this picture, we have two types of hard disk. We have here, this is called the external hard disk. The external hard disk, while this one that doesn't have wire is called the internal hard disk. This external hard disk, you can see, if you want to copy something from your computer, it has wire. You can plug the wire into your computer and copy the information you need. Copy it out and maybe use it to do or keep it where you want to keep it, or use it to travel. Maybe if you want to travel, you don't want to carry your system, and you have important films and movies you want to watch, you can copy it in your hard disk. When you get to where you're going, you can use another computer there to play it. While this is internal, you can find this one inside your computer. It's not detachable. If you detach it, you cannot be able to access the content inside unless you put it back to your computer system. Okay, the next one, we have the USB flash drive. We say that we plug USB flash drive into a USB port on a computer mobile device. You can see here a USB is plugged on a computer to copy information. USB is a good example of storage device. We also have the optical disc, and we say an optical disc consists of a flat, round, portable disc made of metal, plastic, and lacquer that is written and read by a laser. Okay, you can see example of an optical disc, compact disc. The disc we use in watching our film. You can also use it to store information outside your computer. Okay, let's move over to communication devices, and which is the last one for today. Communication devices, we say a communication device is a device that helps the computer to communicate with one another. Example of communication device is a modem. A modem is a good example of communication device, and we say that a modem is a device that allows computer to communicate with one computer over a telephone line. A modem is a short form of modulator and demodulator. It's a good example of communication devices. Now, what is the function of a modem? That is the question. That is another assignment I'm giving to you. What is the function of a modem? What is the function of a modem? Okay, that is another question for you. Okay, let's move over to another communication device we have. We have what we call the network interface card, or the wireless network interface card. Okay, you can see example of network interface card, and we say that network interface card is a communication device that enables a computer to access a wired network, while a wireless network interface card enables the computer to access a wireless network. Now look at this is wireless network interface card. This is the wireless network interface card. Why this is the wired one? This one need wire for it to work, why this one doesn't need wire. So it's a good example of communication device. Okay, let's move over to the next one. The next one is access point. We say access point. The access point is a communication device that is used to connect wireless computer on a local area network. Example of access point we have here, the router. The router is a good example of access point. If you have not seen a router before, this is a router. This is a picture of a router. It helps us to communicate. It helps us to communicate. It helps in communication. Okay, let's move over to the next one, which is the hub, the switch. The switch and the hub. We say that they are communication device or devices that are used to connect computers on a local area network. So all these things, all these devices, you can see how they are being classified into their groups. All these hardware components are classified into input devices, output devices, storage devices, communication and processing devices. So it's left for you now to know the devices that are under input device, the ones that are under output devices. It's not all the devices that are input device, and it's not all the devices that are output devices. Okay, I hope you are following and you are enjoying the lesson. Okay, I have some assignments for you before I will call it a day today. The assignment I have for you here is a device that serves as both input and output device is called dash. Okay, that is number one. Number two, mention at least two more pointing devices you know apart from the ones we have mentioned already. Okay, number three, what is the function of a modem? Okay, number four, list and explain two communication devices outside the ones we've mentioned. Okay, number five, and the last one, what is the difference between a system unit and a processing, that is a central processing unit, CPU. Okay, your assignment, please submit it, and if you have any challenge, don't hesitate to ask your question. I will be there to answer you any question or anything you ask me pertaining on this topic today. Please, I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Do well to stay safe and enjoy your holiday until we meet again. God bless you and thank you.